Chosen one. The payment is so big. Look what's coming. There are some moments when time seems to pause, when the air feels different, and something divine whispers in the silence that change is coming. This is one of those moments. You've been walking a path carved out of fire and prayer, hardship and unshakable belief. But now, something powerful is approaching, something with weight, presence, and the force of God behind it. The payment is so big, it's going to shift the atmosphere around you. What's coming is not small. It's not average. It's not typical. What's coming is ordained, designed to break open the doors that once seemed permanently closed. You're being positioned to witness what happens when favor, timing, and divine order collide. Watch this video until the end. There's something sacred happening in your energy field right now, and this is the space where your intentions meet divine delivery. And write your warmest wishes in the comments, and write Amen along with the number 777. This is more than engagement. It's a vibration, a spiritual agreement. As your words flow into the universe, so does your energy, activating the manifestation of what you desire. Speak your vision into this space, and let the universe rise to meet your declaration. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. What's heading toward you isn't just money. It's a restoration of what was lost, delayed, or hidden. This payment isn't compensation for labor alone. It's a holy repayment for every moment you cried in silence, for every sacrifice you made when no one was watching. This payment carries justice. It carries divine memory. It remembers what you've endured, how you stayed still when storms came, how you didn't retaliate when you were misunderstood, and how you chose to walk in integrity when chaos would have rewarded the opposite. It remembers the nights you fell asleep with nothing but faith, and the mornings you woke up still choosing hope. It remembers, and now, God has decided it's time. This is the moment of reward, not by man's hand, but by divine release. There's been a spiritual hold on the blessing attached to your name, not because you were unworthy, but because the timing had to match your strength. There are some blessings so large that if you receive them too soon, they become burdens. But you're not who you were before. You've matured in the fire. You've grown through isolation. And now, the version of you standing here is ready to carry the weight of what's coming. This isn't just about a financial breakthrough. This is about recognition, about the unveiling of God's decision to elevate you publicly. What was done in secret will now be rewarded in sight. God has already signed the release. The transaction has been authorized in heaven. You're about to feel the shift in your daily life. Money that was tied up is being untied. Deals that were once stuck are moving with momentum. Delays are transforming into sudden movement. Expect unexpected deposits. Expect back pay. Expect new contracts, divine partnerships, and surprise income. What's coming isn't just big, it's bigger than you've imagined. And it will not come one time. It will arrive in waves, in stages, in a rhythm only heaven could orchestrate. You see, chosen one, you weren't being punished during your seasons of drought. You were being preserved. You were being prepared for something that would have overwhelmed your former self. The reason you were hidden wasn't because you lacked brilliance. It was because God was refining it. That payment has your name, but so does the calling that rides with it. You're not being funded just to survive. You're being funded to influence, to build, to restore. You're not just receiving money. You're receiving a mantle. And that mantle requires you to be positioned in power, with clarity, without distraction. The preparation was long, because the reward is legendary. This payment is not temporary. It won't disappear with one bill, or one expense, or one emergency. This is wealth that establishes new patterns in your bloodline. This is wealth that shifts mindsets, breaks curses, and unlocks generational provision. God is not just sending this to you. He's sending it through you. You've become the financial doorway for those connected to your obedience. This is not pressure. This is prophecy. People around you may feel the change before they know the details. You'll notice their questions, their curiosity. They'll sense the elevation in your presence. Don't be alarmed when environments shift. That's what wealth does. That's what divine favor does. It makes people reassess who they thought you were. But you don't owe explanations. You owe gratitude. You owe alignment. And most importantly, you owe God your continued faith. This blessing will not come with sorrow. It will not demand your peace as payment. It's been fully funded by grace. All you have to do is remain in the posture of expectancy. Don't lower your vision because it hasn't happened yet. Don't shrink your energy to make others comfortable with your favor. You were born to rise. You were called to experience overflow. You were destined to become the answer to prayers, not just your own, but those of your lineage. You'll begin to notice how ease replaces effort. What used to take you months to accomplish will now flow in days. Opportunities will show up without your chasing. You'll receive messages that change everything. You'll have meetings that shift your direction. Doors will open before you knock. This is what it looks like when divine payment lands. It alters your calendar. It stretches your capacity. It reminds you of the version of yourself that never stopped believing, even when logic said it was over. And here's the most beautiful part. This isn't a moment that fades. This is a life chapter. It's the new standard. It's not temporary favor. It's permanent placement. This is where the tables turn. This is when the record changes. This is the moment when heaven backs your every move. You've cried your last broke tear. You've walked your last mile without support. What's coming is so majestic, so sudden, so astonishing, that it will take you days just to emotionally process it. Keep your heart open, chosen one. You're walking into wealth, but more than that, you're walking into divine memory. God remembered you. He remembered what they forgot. He remembered what they tried to bury. He remembered what you gave up just to be obedient. And now, He's releasing a reward that reflects His goodness, not just your endurance. What's coming is coming fast, it's coming strong, and it's coming straight to your hands. There is a season where everything changes, and you, chosen one, have stepped into it. The atmosphere around you is not what it used to be. It carries electricity now. Anticipation. There's a divine buildup, like the heavens are assembling a movement that centers around your name. This isn't wishful thinking or spiritual optimism. This is God's orchestration. The setup has begun. Every delay you faced has only served to reroute the flow of riches into one massive direction, toward you. The payment that is coming is so great, so divinely weighted, it will not just affect your life. It will change the lives of those around you. And you'll know when it arrives. You'll feel it in your body. You'll sense the spiritual alert before the physical money ever touches your hands. You've been prepared in obscurity, even when it hurt, even when you didn't understand why the doors stayed shut. The preparation wasn't just for the blessing. It was to stretch your internal system to handle the blessing. It's one thing to receive money. It's another thing to hold wealth. And it's something completely higher to be trusted by God, with riches meant to carry a kingdom purpose. You're being entrusted. This is not about luck. It's about alignment. Heaven has aligned people, places, systems, and even timing to flow toward you. No one can interfere with this. Not jealousy, not sabotage, not spiritual warfare. Because this payment is God-backed, God-timed, and God-sealed. What's extraordinary about what's coming isn't just its size. It's the way it will arrive. Not through the expected route, not through traditional systems. It will surprise you. It will come disguised in casual moments. One message will lead to a meeting. One connection will birth a contract. One encounter will shift your whole bank account. God is using unconventional paths to get this blessing to you, and He's doing it that way on purpose, so no one else can take credit. This moment has been preserved, protected, and hidden until now. And now, the vault is open. This is more than an answer to a prayer. This is the fulfillment of a prophecy spoken over your life long ago. Maybe you didn't even realize that what you were carrying had value. But heaven never forgot. God never missed a moment. He saw you giving when you had little. He saw you encouraging others while you yourself were waiting. He saw you stay faithful when you were invisible. All of it is now echoing back as reward. The echo has returned as increase. The echo has returned as divine deposits. The echo has returned as overflow that won't stop at your feet. It will wash over your entire legacy. You're being compensated for your consistency, for not giving up, for continuing to walk even when your legs trembled, for staying kind when bitterness tried to take root, for choosing to believe even when logic tried to convince you otherwise. There are heavenly records, and your obedience has been recorded in every line. And now, the response to that obedience is arriving in the form of undeniable abundance. The payment is coming in full. No missing digits, no postponed blessings, no fragmented release. It is complete, whole, glorious, overflowing. Even the people who underestimated you will feel the shift. They will see what happens when God decides to highlight someone. They'll witness what favor looks like when it's activated without apology. And they'll realize, this isn't just a random success story. This is a divine event. What's coming for you, chosen one, has the power to break spiritual silence. You've been quiet long enough. You've been surviving long enough. You've been giving without receiving long enough. That is ending now. Your season of replenishment is here. Watch how the divine economy works. What should have taken 10 years will manifest in months. What looked like a denial will turn out to be protection. What once was overlooked will now be overbooked. You will be requested. You will be remembered. And every missed opportunity that once grieved you will be dwarfed by the magnitude of what you're about to receive. God has made room for this blessing. And the room is large. It's been expanded behind the scenes. That's why certain things had to fall apart. They were too small to carry what was coming. You're about to be moved into position without asking. Your name is already in rooms you haven't walked into. Your essence is already being felt by people who haven't even met you yet. And they'll know when they see you. That's the one. That's the person who carries the blueprint. That's the person we've been waiting for. That's the chosen one. That's how big this is. It's beyond your imagination because it was never designed by your imagination. It was designed by the divine. This is the era where resources bow to your calling. No more begging, no more scraping. No more feeling like you have to prove yourself to be worthy of support. You were always worthy. The world just needed time to catch up with what heaven already knew. Now that alignment is here. Heaven has cleared the path. All that's left is for you to receive. This is the divine delivery. You don't chase what is already assigned to you. You attract it. You align with it. You welcome it with boldness. Get ready. The conversations around your name will increase. The activity in your life will rise. The favor on your journey will grow heavier. And through it all, you'll remain steady. Not because of ego, but because you knew. You always knew something big was coming. You just didn't know when. Well, now, you do. You didn't imagine this, chosen one. What you sensed in your spirit, those flashes of future images, that quiet confidence that would occasionally rise up inside you, those were real. You weren't being foolish. You were being prepared. What you thought were dreams were actually previews, glimpses of a divine arrangement that was waiting for a specific moment to reveal itself. And that moment? It's not in the distance anymore. It's right in front of you. You're walking into it, heartbeat by heartbeat, guided by something far greater than chance. The payment that's coming is not just a result of what you've done. It's a reflection of who you are and what you carry. There's something sacred about the way your life has unfolded. It hasn't followed the rules of the world. It hasn't moved according to societal timelines or expectations. You were never meant to live in the same rhythm as others. God set you apart. Your pain had purpose. Your detours had design. Your delays had divine intelligence embedded in them. And now, with no more warnings, no more waiting, no more wandering, The gates are opening. The flood of provision has begun. Not as a trickle, not in small portions, but in an undeniable, overwhelming, unstoppable wave of financial flow and favor. This is heaven's reply to everything you've endured in silence. There are amounts being calculated in your favor right now that exceed what you've ever seen. God isn't just giving you what you asked for. He's giving you what you didn't even think you were allowed to request. There's more coming than what you prayed for, because your prayers were whispered from a place of survival. But God's reply is based on your inheritance. That's why this is so big. It's not a gift, it's a return. A divine return that's been compounding in the spiritual realm, waiting for your spirit to mature into the version that could steward this next dimension. There were moments when you thought God had gone silent, but He was working, silently, strategically, perfectly. Every no you encountered wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Every delay was a disguised protection. You were never being denied. You were being groomed. You were being aligned with people who could receive your energy without distortion. You were being positioned in places that carried the frequency of your future. That's why certain people fell off. That's why certain opportunities crumbled. They were not meant to meet the version of you that would hold this payment. Now that everything has aligned, the energy has shifted. You can feel it. Your sleep is different. Your thoughts are clearer. You're dreaming again, not just at night, but during the day. Hope is rising like the sun, and it's not random. Your spirit has picked up what your mind is only beginning to comprehend. There's movement happening in the invisible realm. Angels have been dispatched. Financial systems are being touched. People in high places are suddenly having thoughts about you, wondering where you are, feeling led to connect, recommend, partner. This is divine orchestration in its purest form. And it's not slowing down. Money will no longer be your limitation. You will not shrink your dreams to fit your bank account. That era has closed. What's ahead of you is backed by abundance. You are being given the freedom to create without fear. The ability to invest in your vision, your family, your future. The funds will be available when you need them, and often before you even realize you do. You won't have to explain your need, justify your plans, or prove your worth. Provision will meet you at the level of your preparation. And you have been preparing, whether you realized it or not. Every skill you've acquired, every discipline you've built, every mindset shift you've embraced, they've all brought you to this point. You're not walking into this wealthy season as a beginner. You're entering as a warrior who has learned how to fight in the spirit and walk in obedience. That's what makes you different. That's why God trusts you with this. You didn't lose your soul chasing the blessing. That's why the blessing is chasing you now. You didn't abandon your values for visibility. You didn't compromise your core for a shortcut. And because of that, you're not just receiving money, you're receiving a crown. This crown is spiritual, but its effects will be visible. Your life is about to radiate differently. People will feel your presence before you speak. Your posture will carry peace. Your aura will shift atmospheres. This payment will be seen in your smile, your schedule, your surroundings. You'll no longer need to explain your assignment. You'll embody it. The resources will confirm the anointing. And those who doubted you will be left speechless. Not because you gloated, but because you stayed silent and let God speak through your outcome. And yes, there will be tests even in this new season. New levels bring new weight. But don't fear that. The same divine intelligence that brought you here will walk with you through every elevation. The difference now is that you'll be resourced. You'll be rested. You'll be equipped. No longer will you be operating from a deficit. You're being positioned in surplus. And in this surplus, you will see just how creative, powerful, and expansive your purpose really is. Lack can no longer distort your vision. Your imagination will be fully activated because God is funding it now. So look around, feel the air, notice the clues. They're everywhere. Confirmations are being sent in the smallest moments. A sudden peace, a strange alignment, a long-awaited message, a random number on a receipt. All of it is a sign, a nod from heaven that says, it's here. The payment isn't a rumor, it's a reality. It's already been released, and all that's left is for it to land. There is a quiet moment before divine manifestation reveals itself. A moment so still, so powerful, that it feels like creation itself is holding its breath. That's the moment you're in now. Not the aftermath of the breakthrough, not the anticipation either, but the sacred pause right before it explodes into your physical world. This isn't waiting anymore. This is arrival. And you, chosen one, are no longer looking for signs. You are the sign. You've become the evidence of what divine timing looks like in human form. The wealth, the reward, the payment. It's not just coming. It's already begun to surround you. This isn't something that needs an announcement. It's too holy for that. God doesn't need to make noise when he moves. His presence speaks through movement, through rearrangement, through unexplainable peace in your spirit, and magnetic shifts in your atmosphere. You've probably noticed things feel lighter. Tasks are flowing smoother. People are reaching out who once ignored you. Ideas are landing in your mind like they've been sent, not thought. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. It means that the divine currency has already begun to touch your reality. Everything about this season is strategic. Even the timing of your thoughts is being influenced by divine frequency. What seemed like delays in the past were actually mercy. You weren't being stalled. You were being stored. Like rare treasure waiting for the moment it would shine without being stolen, polluted, or misunderstood. That moment is now. You are being unwrapped before the world, and with that unveiling comes a blessing no one can block. There are payments coming that have your name on them. Payments you didn't even remember were owed to you. Contracts that were buried under red tape are being resurrected. People who once withheld what was rightfully yours are being spiritually nudged to release it. Emails, letters, transactions, settlements, reimbursements, inheritances, surprise deposits. Yes, they are real. And yes, they're on their way. This is not wishful thinking. It's fulfillment.